Let's open the book on this. Today in Austin, Tesla is under scrutiny after an employee says the company withheld a former coworker's identity. That coworker later became the suspect in the March 1st mass shooting. We'll break down the timeline, safety concerns, and what it could mean going forward. Hi, I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Austin. All right, let's set the stage for this one. First up, Tesla is accused of withholding crucial information tied to a tragic case. The company's Gigafactory Texas, out by the airport on the east side, is at the center of a lawsuit from employee Lillian Brady. She says a former coworker, Diaga Diagnan, assaulted her on December 4th, 2023, and that for more than a year, she couldn't learn his name from Tesla, which stalled steps she could take to seek legal protection. She says she finally got confirmation of his identity on February 25th, 2026. Days later, on March 1st, Austin saw a mass shooting that killed 3 people and injured 14. Police shot and killed Diagne at the scene. Brady has now sued Tesla, saying the company didn't ensure a safe workplace and didn't provide needed support after the alleged assault. Important note here, some details are disputed. Diagne's account reportedly referenced a religious conflict, and Tesla hasn't publicly confirmed how it handled Brady's internal complaint. These are allegations that will be tested in court.
That's close to the heart of it. Workplace safety means more than a hard hat and a badge. It's the systems that protect people when something goes wrong. And honestly, it takes real courage for Brady to keep working there while raising these claims. I've got a why for you. Why would a company not share a name with an employee who's pursuing a complaint like that? It feels, counter to basic accountability.
Yeah, that's something to chew on, huh? Companies often point to privacy policies, HR protocols, or legal advice that limit what they can disclose. HR is the human resources department that handles employee matters, but those guardrails can collide with safety needs. If the allegation's true, a long delay in naming a person might make restraining orders or other protections harder to secure. Again, we don't have Tesla's internal playbook here, and the company hasn't publicly confirmed its handling. The lawsuit is where those facts will be sorted out.
Real talk. When we say corporate responsibility, we just mean doing the safe and ethical thing, even if it's inconvenient. If earlier action could have changed the trajectory here, that's a tough what-if for the community and for the victims' families to carry. Keeping it real, this case will be watched closely. Okay, let's move on. Speaking of safety, a year after the deadly I-35 pileup, we've got new findings. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, which is the federal agency that investigates crashes to improve safety, released documents about the March 13th, 2025 wreck that killed 5 people. Investigators say the truck driver, Solomon Weldekil Araya, was issued the wrong type of CDL. That's a commercial driver's license that allows you to operate large trucks. His medical certification had lapsed, and his employer, ZBN Transport LLC, lacked formal safety protocols and documentation. The documents also indicate Araya was distracted and fatigued at the time of the crash. The NTSB is still investigating broader systemic issues. Systemic here means built into the system itself, not just one person's mistake. There are references to oversight lapses involving state licensing and checks. In Texas, DPS, that's the Department of Public Safety, is the state agency that handles driver licensing and enforcement.
That hits different when you hear it laid out. If a driver was flagged multiple times for unsafe practices and the wrong license type should have expired, that's not just one crack in the system. That's a whole set of cracks. Why didn't the cross-checks catch it sooner? Is it data sharing between agencies or just weak follow-up by the company?
Likely both. Gaps in verification, slow data updates, and a company without strong safety documentation is, honestly, a bad combo. The goal now is learning from it. Stricter verification, tighter audits, and real consequences for repeat violations can save lives on I-35. That's the heartbeat of it.
Let's switch it up. Austin is weighing a possible renaming of Cesar Chavez Street. Quick refresher. Cesar Chavez was a labor leader and civil rights activist known for organizing farm workers. The street was First Street until 1993, when it was renamed to honor him. Now, after recent allegations of sexual misconduct against him, some community leaders want the city to consider a change, potentially even returning to First Street. Here's how renaming works in Austin. Someone files an application. City staff review it. Emergency services weigh in because they can veto street names that might cause confusion for 911. Veto just means the power to stop a decision. There are public hearings, then the city council votes. Street names also need to avoid sounding like other names anywhere in Travis County to prevent emergency response mix-ups. It's a multi-step process meant to balance history with public safety and clarity.
Let's shed some light on this balance. Honoring history matters, so does reflecting current values. Community input is crucial here because neighbors, businesses, and first responders live with the outcome every day. I get why emotions run high. Changing a street sign can reopen old debates, and practically, it can mean address changes and costs for people on that corridor. If this moves forward, clarity and compassion should guide the discussion. All right, on to the next. Vice President J.D. Vance is in Austin for a Republican National Committee fundraiser Monday, March 23rd, with road closures likely near the airport and downtown. J.D. Vance is the Vice President of the United States. The RNC is the National Political Committee for the Republican Party. Expect rolling closures, which are temporary, moving shutdowns as a motorcade passes, and a big one to note. Cesar Chavez Street will be closed from Brazos Street to I-35 from noon Monday to 9 a.m. Tuesday, March 24th. He's also making stops in Dallas and Nashville on this trip. If you've got airport runs, school pickups, or service appointments downtown, build in extra time or reroute. Rolling closures can pop up with short notice, so keep your map apps refreshed and, be ready to pivot.
Yeah, that checks out. For downtown, consider crossing the river on the South First Bridge or Congress when they're open. And if you're heading to the airport, leaving earlier than you think you need to is the safe play. I'm down for that no-stress approach. Last up, weekend closures for road work. TxDOT, that's the Texas Department of Transportation, is closing 2 key flyovers at US 290 East and southbound I-35 for bridge repairs. The westbound 290 East to southbound I-35 flyover and the eastbound flyover from US 290 East and Koenig Lane to southbound I-35, both shut down starting 9 p.m. Friday, March 20th, and they're expected to reopen by 5 a.m. Monday, March 23rd. Detours will be signed along local roads, expect delays. Also, the northbound I-35 main lanes in South Austin will close on Saturday, March 21st, for work on the I-35 Capital Express South project. That project adds elevated managed lanes. Managed means they're actively controlled, sometimes tolled or restricted to carpools and buses during peak times. The aim is to move more people efficiently, short-term pain for long-term capacity gains, hopefully with fewer bottlenecks through the corridor.
Totally. It's inconvenient, but planning ahead helps. Check detours before you head out. If you can shift errands to Sunday afternoon or early Monday after 5 a.m., do it. And for folks in neighborhoods near the detours, pack a little patience. Cut-through traffic can spike during these windows. Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett. Stay informed, Austin.
Join us again tomorrow for more updates. Have a great day.